Don't worry about saying goodbye. I'm sure we'll be doing this all again soon enough.
Okay.
Get off my bus.
Get off my bus.
Don't stay looking. I haven't you to breathe again.
Yep, there we go. Okay.
See you next time! Welcome to Firestone. I am CL4PTP. You may call me by my locally designated name, Claptrap. Before continuing, please accept this Echo communication device and heads-up display, provided free of charge by the Doll Corporation. Great! I detected your Echo device is fully functioning. This way, please. I'm over here! I'm over here! I'm over here!
Okay. Do I just have a gun and only a sniper? Only a sniper. Astounding. Yes. Okay.
Step right up. This is the new U station. When you
Okay.
use this device, your DNA profile is automatically identified and stored. Please activate the new U station now.
Change my colors. They're also very blah in this game. There he is, Mordecai.
Excellent.
Not that
Now that your DNA is registered, you have the best in horrific
change
death
of what I
and
look like
dismemberment
will change
insurance.
anything.
Should an unfortunate fatal incident occur, this will appear in the station. Now we can head into the peaceful town of Firestone.
Yep.
I'll lead the way.
Do it, I believe in you. Yeah, do it.
Is that... Oh no, not again!
Whoa, it's bandits. Sound extremely excited. It's quality. I know the game can look much better than this, but my computer said no, low graphics.
Are they gone? Whew. Those bandits really have it in for us Claptrap.
Yeah.
Using us as target practice is not part of our programming. And open! Yes! Ow!
Ow, indeed.
Feel it!
didn't know there was a third one. That's my bad. Well, at least it's giving me sniper cartridges and not anything else, 'cause that'd be pretty crappy. Okay. Is there? Yeah, but it's not showing up on my map. So I'm assuming I just gotta go forward. That was like right on his head. How did it miss? I forgot about all these basic sounds from the very first game.
There may be something inside to help against those bandits.
Yeah, like weapons or something. Whoa, weapons or something.
Wow! That looks like it could do some damage.
Wait,
Okay,
a torque
let's
gun
get this gate open.
that doesn't do explosive damage? Whoa. Crazy. I surely can't believe it. Yeah. Astounding. Amazing.
I'm over here!
And
These
it
controls seem to be damaged. Have no fear, I'm sure I can do it. This isn't working!
playing a original
Quick,
Borderlands
this way!
just for it to be like, hey, remember Torque from all the other games? Yeah, remember when they didn't use explosives? And then I cried because no, I don't. That's insane. Why would Torque not use explosives in their weapons? It's their whole...
No! No, I can't put this cat away!
Oh, hey. Yeah, shooting from that distance with a shotgun is a great idea. Oh, golly gosh.
Calm down!
Wow. I don't know why I'm just like going forward and like brute forcing this. I could just like, you know, be like, oh, I'm gonna sneak from right here. So, oop. Yeah. Sadly, that I won't be able to get my skill until like level 5.
That hurt?
Excellent. I knew you were the right choice, friend. Now go. I'll contact you again soon.
I don't know why this feels easier.
Attention, citizen of Firestone! There is no cause for alarm! This new visitor has resolved the problem!
Well, shoot, I thought I was a goner that time. Damn bandits won't leave us alone. Had to lock the place up tight. I'll let you in. Come on. Damn it. Blasted circuits are on the fritz again. Give it a go from the switch out there, would you?
Okay.
Now that you've selected a mission, you will notice that a new icon has appeared on your heads-up display. That's a waypoint. The waypoint will tell you where you need to go, depending on what mission is currently active in your mission log.
Okay. There he is. Zed.
Thanks for opening her up again. The name's Zed. They don't let me cut on folks anymore since I lost my license, so now I keep the med vendors around here up and running. From the vendors, you can buy
Now that we're done with all that, please follow me and I'll open the gate for you.
I don't think I can buy a
fault
shield
is
yet.
a myth, you'll get yourself killed lecture.
of weird when you start doing something, you realize you're exhausted.
I'm over here!
Yes, I'm right here. That's me right now. I just feel exhausted. It's like, don't do this to me. Not when we're about to fight people. My mouse got all laggy, and I don't know if it's because of like a distance from the CPU, which I would have in a better place if I didn't have only one outlet in my room. Here we are. So my mouse is a decent ways away from my CPU. Hello.
Feel it. Looks like he got under Nine-Toes' skin. Don't worry, he'll get what's coming to him.
My servo.
You did it! I knew you were the right choice. Oh, the poor little robot needs our help. Would you kindly give him a hand?
It's so weird because like it'll just randomly stop
That
as
little
I'm.
robot is hurt. He isn't going to last very long without attention. Why don't you look around for something to fix him up?
My servo.
You have a go to kill Skags and then a robot dies, so you have to revive them. Could also just be a bad mouse, but who knows?
I think I'm leaking!
Could be a bad mouse or old mouse or a messed up mouse.
Am I leaking?
He
I
seems
wouldn't
to be
know.
okay. Now is the time to get moving and play your part in the journey to come.
I slept for so long today. My body's still like, nah, you're tired. I killed a Skag. I killed a Skag.
Thank you for visiting Firestone.
Killed a Skag.
Well,
Oh,
traveler, and be sure to say hello to all the friendly claptraps that await you. I shall now continue my fascinating research on the wondrous properties of sand.
Well, that ought to do it. I'll see you in a few.
oh my god. God. My freaking mouse. Very annoyed. Just cooperate with me.
Give me a shout if I can help you.
He's a bit of a fixer-upper. Can't do that, God. This is the problem with streaming. And I'll say it every time. I want to sing.
Hey there, stranger.
Because that's what I do when I'm in the thing of like, oh, I need something to preoccupy my brain. And that is to just cooperate. And that is just sing, because that's what I normally do. But I can't do that because copyright strikes. And it's annoying. I mean, but then there's like the thing is like, oh, if it's not close enough, then it doesn't matter. But also at the same time, it's like, I don't know if I'm close enough or not. I don't know what they mean is close enough or not. I don't want to risk that. You know? Remember the waypoint. I agree. Okay. Hold on, wait. So as Mordecai, does it tell me what I have proficiencies in? No. Because I know it's like, oh, Mordecai specializes in these weapons. Because in the first game, that's what they do. They're like, hey, you specialize in these weapons. And I'm like, no. I do, though.
You need something?
I do have it. Hush, Zed.
I might not have a med school degree, but when you get shot, you'll be happy I'm here.
But check me out. Oh, come on, get down.
Well, I clicked OK.
Thanks for the help. Done here. You ought to use the machine to sell some things you don't need. You didn't buy first aid kits to use on the field.
Here's the cool thing about the first game, though. They give you They give you shields that regenerate health. I don't believe they do that in any of the other games. Now, there's some people with skills that allow them to regenerate health in some of the other games or whatnot, or like, you know, grenade mods. But in this first one, shield, I mean, some people have that, but your shields get you that too. Who am I turning this into? Zed.
Just tell me if you need anything.
This is definitely
People
like
don't
one of
yet
those
trust you.
games that
If you're going to ever find the
very
vault, you'll need the aid of the people. Helping Dr. Zed with his nine-toes problem is a good move.
because this first one is sort of like a basic beta sort of thing. Or whatever, you know, where someone's like, oh, this is our game in alpha or whatever. And it's like, you're like, yeah, this is okay. It could be better. Because, like, it definitely could have been. And then it did get better. It's just a whack thing in the beginning. Like, and I remember first playing this, I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And then you play, like, 2 and stuff, and you're like, oh, it could have been so much better. But it got better, and that's the important part. Because, I mean, at least this starting area, it's very, like, even though there's lots of stuff everywhere, it's all rocks. It's all very bland color, and like that's the color scheme of like most of this game. But I don't know. Later you just, oh, what's the word? Later you just, they get more color. Not in this game. This game, it's always like this sort of like muted tone. Like where like there's color, but it's not even there. Like the reds and blues of the setting are just like, they're there, but they don't make you feel like they want you to feel welcome. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. That's all that matters, isn't it? Just I wish it was like a bit more. No, come on. React. Okay. That was right on his head. Oh my god, so that was all. There we go. See, there's just one right there. Bam. Now we turn it in. I did it again. Even like these walls, like they could have like done better like colors or whatever, but it's always just like everything's like dark and dank and rusty. And you get to come back here in like the second game, like this area. And even though it's like some of the same similar colors, it just feels more full of life. It doesn't feel muted. It feels like they're the actual colors and stuff, and it's
You
nice.
got what you need, now scram.
And I recognize that like when you're first starting out making a game, you know,
Check me out.
who knows what your priorities are, or if it did look good or not. Then later it's just like, huh, yeah, stay away from me, punks. They always come out from over there, and they always attack. I never understand it. TK Baja. Baja
You?
Fresh.
One more step and it'll be your last. You should have seen the look on your face.
Oh, okay, I'm good.
Don't listen to son of a biscuit-eating skag.
I've completely forgotten how this stolen food thing works. Oh, okay. It's all over here. It's literally just right there. Ooh, yeah, look at my quality accuracy. Thing is, you get proficiency in weapons the more you use them. But my main thing is, I've never known what those proficiencies do. Like, do they... Because I don't even think it says, like, does it upgrade them at all? Does it, like, you know, do more damage? All that fun stuff. I don't know.
What, you didn't like that?
So I know leveling up does stuff like that. Like, it's like, oh, you're powerful now, and you're getting, like, better and better weapons. Stronger, defense raised. Ah, but... Does your attack raise? Why do I feel so out of it? I know the minute if I turn this off, like, I'm like, oh man, I feel so tired, I feel so exhausted. But the minute I stop, my body's gonna be like, alright. You're full of so much energy. And by full of so much energy, I just mean energy that's like... You're not tired. And it's like, okay, so why'd you lie to me?
Smells like off-worlder. How you liking our planet anyways?
I don't
Done
know.
well. I've decided to reopen my Firestone franchise thanks to you. Head into town and buy some new gear.
And like... So... They just respawned that quickly, didn't they? Okay, well, I hit him. On the road. Boo-da-boo. Yep, I agree, Claptrap. Okay. I'm opening a store. Ha, just kidding. I'm not there. It's just my funky little
You won't find fighter gear anywhere on the planet.
Wow, really? That's pretty cool. Then there's guns.
You don't need to be a better shot. You just need to shoot more bullets.
I could just buy a shotgun. Just 'cause why not? Will I use it? Probably not. But is it there? Yep. Should I just wait to look for one? Probably. But also, I don't care enough. Oh, someone honked. There's a lot of honking. Not necessarily like legitimately a lot, but like so many cars drive down my street, especially with the road close to it being closed, and it's just a area full of motorcycles and people with engines that pop. and the other words. I can do stuff before going there, can't I? Or am I wrong? And a lot of car honking because people near where I live are just absolute biddies. Really, they're back alive again, like so soon after being dead. I forgot, the respawn rates on Borderlands 1 are terrible. They're just like, oh, you just killed them? Well, it's been 2 minutes, let's bring them back. Which, to most people be like, oh, well, wouldn't that be good? It's like, yeah. But when it's all the time, it's like, what are you doing? Do you have a life? Apparently not if I have to keep killing you over and over again.
Feel it.
Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. Gonna go to 9 toes. I think in theory, after 9 toes is when you get your power, or before you start to face 9 toes. Wait, I just remembered something. Hold on. It's impossible to know where things are, unless you like... Is there like a mission icon over here? Because I feel like... Okay. So there is. Now, that could mean one of 2 things.
Give me a shout if I can help you. I keep the medical equipment working.
It just allows you to talk to him. Okay. I thought it'd be something more legitimate, but... I don't know. I don't know. Why wasted my time? Now back to doing whatever I was doing. I really wish... The thing I hate most about Borderlands is at least, like, not even, like, waiting to get your thingy, that one thingy. Not even waiting to get your, skill. It's waiting to get your... Why can't I think of words right now?
Like that?
It's waiting to get your other equipment slots. Like, I just want to be able to swap between 4 guns, you know?
Woo! I heard.
And I can't do that right now. Gully. Yum. Sure, that's what everyone says about Gully. Yum. Okay. Honestly, though, it's been so long since I played this. I know I beat this game with, I believe, Lilith and Roland before. I know I beat it with Roland, and I know I beat it another time. But that kind was sort of cheesy, though. I don't know if that was with Lilith. No, I beat... Okay, no, I beat... Technically, I've beaten it 3 times, but I don't count one of the times because I was, like, young when this came out. Someone came into my game and gave me one of those broken shields. So, like, essentially, I couldn't die at all unless, like, I, like, jumped off a cliff because the shields would, like, never lose health. They had, like, a trillion shield thing on it. They were just, like, you know, invincible. So I would never go down, but I don't count that one. That was my run through with Mordecai, but now I'm doing a more legitimate Mordecai one. But it's just for me. I'm just streaming it because I feel like it, because why not? But I beat it as Lilith on, I think, my PS3. Like a legitimate one, like I went through it again, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it legitimately this time, and I did it. And then on my computer, when I bought it for my computer for the first time, because of, yes, of course, I rebuy games by 1 and And I mainly mean that in the sense of like I rebuy games because like if they're good enough and I love them, I'm gonna buy them on multiple platforms because I have friends that play on different platforms. So why would I not rebuy it? Yeah. Also, some of the names are definitely outdated. I remember in the second game, I wondered why they still had the same name for these little dudes. But yes, I'm playing one. But in the second one they did, I believe in the pre-sequel they did. But I don't know. I'm doing a Mordecai run through because the first time I beat it as Mordecai, it was not actually beating it. It was more of like cheesing it. So I'm doing it again. But I'm just I'm just playing this for funsies. It's not like I'm doing a legit. This is just more of like a chill game for me because like it's Borderlands. It's something I can turn my brain off to, and it's fun. Do I worry about this now? I'll worry about it later. I'm not gonna bore you guys. And by you guys, I mean like probably like the one person that's in here. So,
You are about to face your
but
first
sometimes
real challenge.
that's life.
I hope you've toughened up enough.
Sometimes you just gotta play for one person and be like, that's good enough for me because I don't care too much. Like, would it be nice to have more people? Yeah, but if I don't, who cares? I don't. Ladyfinger. Yeah. Kill them all. Okay, you got it. Okay. I didn't kill you. Wow, I can't aim today, can I? Hey, look, a free assault rifle. Another one? I'm not picking that one up, that'd be stupid. Whoa! And look, a grenade mod, perfect. Okay.
That's a grenade mod!
It is a grenade mod.
And you'll find that your protein grenades are suddenly more powerful and are now equipped with special abilities.
Oh, really?
Always be on the lookout for new and different grenade mods to supercharge your arsenal.
That's pretty cool. Okay. I am about to go fight somebody. Nine Toes. Also, I don't know, Ash, if you've ever seen gameplay of this first one. So I don't know spoilers, but I'm also not going to be caring in the sense of like I'm not going to be caring in the sense of like I've seen it all before. I'm going to run past everything. This is not for like a first time person's thing, but here we are. Okay, now the question is, okay, I don't know. I don't remember. You didn't play the fucking DLC though, so. Now, do I want to pick up my shotgun or I feel like assault rifle might be better for this. Okay. Boop.
You woke the wrong dog.
Oh shit, yeah, he has dogs, doesn't he? I honestly forgot about that. Big bad Nine Toes. You just got fucked in like the first 2 seconds of the fight. Now I gotta deal with your stupid ass dogs. Look at that. I don't remember this being this easy. I remember struggling. Will I go down? Maybe. But not today. I remember when I was like younger, I had difficulty with him. I feel like it. I think it's because I don't know, I might not just have focused on him. I don't know what to say. I don't know my excuses. I just remember like really sucking at fighting him before. But that was pretty good. Like I just went up, went boop, dead. And he was just like, "Oh, I guess I'm dead." I think that's great.
Don't mind if I do.
Okay, hold on. 88. I'm gonna pull my sniper rifle back out. It is better than mine. Nom, nom, nom. Also, I think the good thing about this one is I don't think it had burst rifle snipers, which is honestly... Give me that. Which was honestly one of the worst additions in Borderlands 2. Burst rifle weapons. Ugh. 16, 22, and S&S musicians. You'll never hear that company ever again in the Borderlands games, probably. Probably died. I didn't even know all the companies in this one. I know we got Atlas. Atlas is in this one, though. Remember Atlas? Remember when they were revived? I say that semi as a joke because I know that Ash hasn't played Tales from the Borderlands and 3.
That was the first step on your journey.
That was I don't know.
Who I am.
I was gonna call
is
that a
not
joke,
important.
but is it even a
The first
joke?
thing you must know,
Oh, hello.
the vault is real.
Your mom's real. Boom, got him.
They will try to use you, not be swayed in your purpose. The vault is here, and we will find it.
You don't get
This
it though,
world is
because you
full of
haven't played
dangers.
the pre-sequel.
Steel
I mean, not the
yourself
pre.
and
Because
go.
you haven't played. Well, you
I'll be
also
watching.
haven't played the pre-sequel. You haven't played. Shit. Why did I forget? You haven't played 3 or Tales. Which, I mean, I guess you don't need to play Tales, but like, I mean, it is canon. And if you don't, it's sort of like a thing of like, when you get to the 3rd game, you're like, wait, hold up, how did this happen? Like, at least with Hyperion, you can be like, oh, well, we never really discussed, like, all this stuff. But, like, if you did that in 3, just to be like, hey, remember this core character? Boop, gone. Be shitty. What did I pick up? It was a shield. Aha, slow health regen. My favorite. I hate you. Is Tales either from the Borderlands or Tales of the Borderlands? It's a great game series. Listen, I'll just replay it on my computer and you can just sit in on the stream as we play it. And then you can be like, wow, I understand everything. Smiley face emoticon. And then you'll be like, wow, this is a really cool game. I really wish I would have played it. My finger is whack. Okay. Still. Oh, but they don't. Okay, so they respawn instantly from a place I had already been in. But I pop out here. It's been a bit since I killed those things, and they're not out. Okay. I see how that makes sense. Frick off. Okay. Just realized I didn't have to go this way. I gotta go my own. I like how this reminds me of a taser, but it's not a taser because it's a gun. And that's the fun part.
Another night.
Hey, I leveled up. Okay, now we do the fun thing, where I look at every single thing in the skill tree and be like, do I want that? Like this. Like, honestly, I like this, because Bloodwing attacking more people is good, and I like that. But also over here, because it's normally looking at, like, the big skill, but I guess it's also more than that. It's like, you know, sniper, this is like, oh yeah, you want to use a sniper rifle. That's smart. Increases accuracy. Increases sniper. Oh, and it reduces sniper smoke. That's just sniper rifle damage. Gain additional experience when you kill an enemy within critical hit. That's nice. Killing an enemy increases your damage and reload speed for all duck. See, that's good. Shooting an enemy with a sniper rifle. Pull down Bloodwing. Good. Increases magazine capacity with sniper rifles. It's also good. But I don't like that. I don't really care about that. Your bullets have a chance to ignore shields. I don't care. Oh, but it also slightly increases bullet damage. Again, I don't care. I really don't. That's doing me. I think this is one of those things where like you can actually level up your final skill like multiple times. It's been a while since I played, but like you know, Bloodwing damages bleed, maximum number of additional items dropped, which that's good. That can be helpful. Bloodwing strikes the enemy gain portion of health based off the damage alone, which is nice. Increases reload speed with all type of weapons. Increases attacks from Bloodwing contains enemies. Killing an enemy increases the amount of loot you get from other enemies killed in the next few seconds. Then we got critical hit. Using pistols, you have a chance to fire 2 shots. Killing an enemy gives you chaotic health regeneration for the next few seconds. Increases melee damage. Also, every melee take has a 35. Cooldown Bloodwing increases fire and magazine size of pistols. So, bug in my room. Okay, killing enemy increases your fire rate and gives every bullet fired to kill a shot. This for the last few seconds. This is part I don't like. It's very, I don't know, bleh in skill trees because it's like they don't really give you a lot. They really just say, hey, here's one thing that you can upgrade. Whereas like in the later games, they're like, oh, well, we focus on other things. Because this is truly just saying, use a sniper rifle. This one's truly saying, use a gun and melee people, you know? Or sorry, use a pistol. And this one's just like Bloodwing is your only hope. And I do like Bloodwing. So Bloodwing might be my only hope. Because I really like, you get that health. But also like, I don't know. I did that before. I've already done that before. I kind of want to go this sniper route. Which I feel is stupid to go alone, but also like, I don't know. Yeah, why not? You know, because I've done Rogue before. I've done it before. You know what? We're going to change it up. We're going to be a sniper extraordinaire.
Yeah, I hate to send you away. Great company and all, but I got to go take a dump. I got to dump something off.
Thank you, TK Baha. Wow, that's how all maps should work. That is a terrible way to move a map on a computer. Holy shit.
Man. Oh,
I know you can't see it, but like when dragging the mouse, like when you move it down, it moves down. Whereas like, you know, most of the time when you're like, oh, I'm gonna move the map downwards, like, you know, like try and like drag downwards with the mouse on the map, you're like, oh, it's gonna go up because I'm dragging it down. It's like, no, it moves it down, and it's like, okay. It's not how most map mechanisms work, but alright. Again, one of the things that's like a bit bleh with the first game. I still love it though. I was like, I remember Lilith was like really good to play as though because like she could just go invisible and get like an increased attack speed.
Might want to check out the bounty board and see if anyone else has a job.
Honestly, whack. And then when you throw your like iridium fragment stuff on
Thanks
there,
to you, no more damage.
it just makes it even like more dangerous. Okay. Get your ass.
Hi, you the one killing all the crap when people ask? The catch a ride near Firestone is more busted than my mama's girl parts. Real appreciate you taking a poke at that. The system, not my mom. Huh. That dog down the skag den, know what I'm saying?
I missed.
Feel it!
Did I shoot his arm off? I didn't mean to do that. Pew! Oh my god, excuse. That was terrible. Look at that respawn rate. Ridiculous. I can't hit this bastard to save my life. It's because I don't know if, like... I'm so annoyed. That was embarrassing. Okay. Hi, TK.
Smells like off-world. How you liking our planet anyways?
Kill Scar and Skag Gully. Gather blade flower seeds. Like, I don't know if there's like any other way. I think the only other way to like figure out stuff is like looking at like stuff like this and being like, okay, where is the I think it will be like undiscovered in this location, and you're like, oh, that's weird, but okay. Here we are, we vibing. Ooh, exploded your head. Okay, I'm not gonna waste my bullets on level 2s.
Come fight
Like, truly, just one experience is Garbo. Hold on, wait. Boop, accuracy. Accuracy! Oh. Okay. Here we go. Oh, wow, look, another mission. Same. Same. See, but I killed them a while ago. They haven't respawned here yet. And it's weird. It's strange. Is it because, like, I entered a new area? I don't know. The game's never made too much sense. Hello, I'm your conscience. I'm your conscience. I speak for the trees. Get him, blood. Racks. Gotta love racks, am I right? I tell you, I do like racks, am I right? Okay, I'm gonna stop that. Who the fuck killed you? Now I'm scared. Before I was like, okay, everything will be fine. And you just died out of nowhere, and that was terrifying. I didn't hit you. So I don't know who did. Ooh, squishy. I just ate it like a little while ago, so my body is like, be gross, be disgusting. No, I agree. It's effective versus flesh, though. Not that I care. Sound free. Oh shit, I forgot there's fall damage in this one. I jumped and remembered. Oh yeah, fall damage. Oh god. They got rid of that in the other ones. But, I forgot about it until I jumped. Wow, are you shooting at me, Spitter Skag? What did I ever do to you? 48 smegma bullets. Boom, get wrecked by a birdie. By a birdie. Ooh. Halfway there, looking. My God. You know, that song that I just sang a slight bit amount of, that's a Big Time Rush song. Didn't even know that. Until, like, I watched the TV show. It really throws me off. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Also, they're having a reunion soon. I remember some people were like, wow, I can't forgive Carlos because like he's an alleged Trump supporter or whatever. And some people are like, who cares if you voted for Trump? But it's also like one of those things where it's like, well, because Trump spouted hate, and if like, and there's a difference between voting for Trump and being a Trump supporter. Like, I know some people have like voted for Trump, but they're not called Trump supporters. Do I still like them a lot? No, not really, because they still decided to vote for some piece of crap jagoff. But, I mean, it's semi-easier to excuse. I don't think there should be an excuse, though, but that's because I think he's a terrible, terrible person who, should have never been president. That's me. Where's my... There it is. Because I think this... Okay, so... Skags count as... Yeah, there we go. Look at him. He's dying. Basically what I'm trying to say is... I don't know. Anyone who, like... tries to take away rights for me and my community, is not a person I like. Then again, I don't really like many of the political candidates that ever get on stage and went for. I mean, I don't like Biden, but it's always like choosing. Well, at least I don't think he's gonna. And like, I don't know, be blatantly whatever, which still isn't good. But like,
Get even better at this.
this card. Yeah, like that's the thing. It's always about taxes. It's never about anything else. It's always about taxes. And the taxes like never get lowered or anything. I don't know if that's true. I just feel like people constantly complain about taxes. But I feel like they're always complaining about taxes, and taxes are never actually, nothing ever happens with it. So in my head, therefore, they're saying these people are going to lower their taxes, but they never do it, but they'll, like, stand up for them anyway. I don't know. I think someone's human rights are more important than taxes. Call me crazy. That's me. And I just... I don't know. So, yeah, I can't vibe with BTR. And here's the thing. Like, there's some things, like, I think, like, one of the things is, like, now, I said, Carlos is allegedly said, like, Trump supporter, or that he voted for Trump. But he also hasn't said anything about it. No, he doesn't have to. But it's also one of those things where it's, like, if he didn't, he would have said something by now, you know? I don't know. That's just my take on it. But, because it's like one of those things where it's like, there's some things you don't have to respond to. And there's some things that are like, that you should respond to. Like, you don't have to tell anyone who you voted for. That's absolutely a thing. But I feel like most celebrities, whether they're like old or new, you know, mainly in the sense of like whether like they're in the current like public eye or like they used to be, there's always that thing of like they're not going to discuss, none of them are going to discuss stuff like that because, you know, it ruins standings in movies and stuff, or like the music industry it does. And then there's like other people who are unabashedly ashamed of who they like support, whether that be for good or bad. And then there's some people that just do shit for money, like SNL. I mainly say that as in, I believe most of the cast of SNL is more democratic or liberal. They'll still make fun of them because, like, I mean, the Democratic Party, just like the Republican Party, has dumbass people in it that are gonna get made fun of. But, like, also, they had, like, Trump on there, which was a fucking move to make. But it's one of those things where, you know, that's not a cast member's choice, normally. It all depends on, like, I guess, who the cast member is. That's not a cast member's choice. That's normally, like, Lorne Michaels being like, I want this person, so we're gonna try and get this person for whatever reason. I don't know if Lorne Michaels specifically, but, you know, people like that. And they're taken out of it. Or, like, you know, it could be a thing on SNL. Like, they're like, oh, it'll be funny, though. But then it's not funny. Like, because it ends up causing problems. And it's like the same thing with, like, Elon Musk. Like, I feel like some of the people on SNL, like, they're on Twitter. They know, like, what they're all looking at. And they probably all see, like, some of the same things. Just being like, wow, this guy seems, like, quite insensitive or whatever. And, or like, wow, he seems very, like, up in himself. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna invite him anyway. And like honestly, props to SNL cast members who have to deal with that, because like I mean, there's some later that like you know you look at it and like they'll like be very open. I mean like Pete Davidson is very open about like all of his opinions, and like Colin and Michael Che give him like a space to talk on Weekend Update, and you know there's just that thing of like there's like a one where like Kanye came on there and started like ranting, and like it's like, oh yeah, you know, I just put my head down and tried to get off stage as quickly as possible because like I want to be associated with that. And you know that's the risk with like some people, you never know what's gonna happen when they go on there. And it's like the same thing where like apparently there was like Rage Against the Machine was on SNL at the same time they had like a Republican candidate or like some sort of like Republican politician on there at the same time. And apparently at the time it was Rage Against the Machine when they were like very controversial or whatever, like, you know, being very like doing a lot of like anti-governmental stuff or whatever, and like hanging, and like they would like rip up flags and like stuff, and like it get them banned. And it's like yo, it's like you hired these people at this time during this specific part in their lives, and like you had plenty of time to be like, huh, should we put this on TV? And that's more of SNL's fault more than anything, because like to my knowledge, people love Rage Against the Machine. I say that in the sense of like they're a popular band, they're a band I've heard of that I've never listened to, but I know of them, therefore they must be popular in a sense in my head. But like if your semblance is just like for your show, just, oh, people really like this band, let's get them on, but you don't know like who they are, what they stand for, and like that normally ends up being like a lot of things. And like sometimes it's caused problems for the musicians, because you know musicians will unabashedly like uphold their beliefs and stuff on stage, because they know SNL gets so many viewers a night, so many people tune in to watch the show, I can make my statement that I've been trying to make forever on here. Because I know that happened with one lady, I don't remember her name, I think she was like an Irish musician. She went on there to talk about like, you know, the Catholic priests and stuff, and like what they were doing to children. And they cut the feed, kicked her off stage, and banned her. And then, you know, a few years later, all that shit comes out. And then it's like, did they ever apologize to her? Probably not, because, I don't know, Lorne Michaels just seems like a bleh guy. I think the cast members are fine, but I think Lorne Michaels is bleh, just based off my knowledge of him. He's made a space for a lot of great people, but that doesn't mean he himself is great. And did I skip anything? I didn't. I don't know. Just they get these artists on here that are like trying to make statements, and they kick them off stage for making statements, because that's how TV is. Because I know it's also probably not like, it might not also be Lorne's thing, like Lorne's fault, Lorne's things, whatever. I'm still gonna blame him because he can't. But it's also like a thing of like, they're also on a network, and if the network doesn't want to make a statement, yada yada yada, then the network could be more in trouble than anything, or the TV show could get in trouble with the network because they're airing it on that network, and they're like, we don't want to be seen agreeing with these things. And I mean, especially with like, because like going against something like the Catholic Church, that's a rough thing to do. I mean, regardless of whether whether what you're bringing forward is right or wrong, because it's the fucking Catholic Church. It's fucking huge. But like, that's like a dangerous thing to bring up. But like, you know, I just think musicians don't care because they're like, I have a point I want to make, I'm gonna make it, here I go. And it's, oh, I'm out of ammo on that one, okay. And like I said, it's like, come through on both sides, like, with Rage Against the Machine and, that Irish lady singing. But then there's also like Kanye with his, MAGA rant. Because he came up on stage and he's like, I'm gonna do this. He didn't tell anyone, of course. He just did it because you don't tell anyone. Because if you tell anyone, they're not gonna let you do it. Because why would they? I don't know. It's crazy, honestly. I don't know what the point of that was. I think the point of it was politics in general. Yeah. Times are crazy. And then you have other ones that, like, don't care, or there's, like, some people trying to push forward things. Or, you know, you have those people that hide it within the show. I'd say a good person that, or a good show that did that was OKKO. OKKO had a lot of episodes that were metaphors for things that most people could recognize, in the sense of like, they're like, they look at it and they're like, oh, I see what this is an allegory for. Like, they've had, I mean, and some that were very like just blatant, like the Captain Planet episode being about like, you know, save the planet. Like, yeah, blatantly talking about wanting to keep the earth clean, do your part, even though it's mainly corporations that need to do their part. And thank you, Claptrap. And but then there's like other ones where like, for gun violence, since it's a kids TV show, they can't have guns on screen. So instead, the creator of the show decided it's just gonna be a little like laser that turns people into skeletons. And so like the whole thing is everyone's getting all these lasers with skeletons. They're all completely unchecked and they go around just doing it. And then they're like, oh wait, how do I turn my friend back from a skeleton into not a skeleton? And it's like, that's the thing, you can't. It's like, well, why not? It's like, it only works one way. And like, you know, and then it's like, and then someone's like, I know how to solve this problem. And then they just sell a skeleton ray, but instead of just one laser, it can do 3 lasers now. And so like, just being like, they don't solve the problem, they just make it worse because like, they're like, you know, they're like adding essentially modifications that make it worse, and that people can just, again, grab unchecked. Granted, I know that's not all guns. Like some guns have like, you know, you actually have to go through a waiting process. You actually get background checked and all that stuff, but not the same place for everywhere. And that's how they did it. And then like eventually like, and then like they deal with the trauma of turning their friends and everything into these. Okay. Oh, I got the weapons anyway. It didn't make me drop anything. But they just go through all that trauma of like, you know, just turning their friends and family into skeletons and not knowing what to do because there's no way to reverse it. And then like, you know, KO wakes up and realizes like, oh, that was a dream. And so he goes to like, and then it's like, this is how you can help. It's like call your local representative and like tell them that you don't want to support skeleton rays. And so KO does that, and then they get banned or like they get restricted or whatever, and then the guy that was gonna sell them can't sell them anymore. And like, it's basically a way to tell kids like stuff like this is like just happening, and that
But when you get shot,
you know,
you'll be happy I'm here.
you don't have to deal with it. You can fight for reform, you can fight for change. And granted, that's not something that can be done as easily as it shows in OKKO, because like it takes time and all that stuff, but they use it to talk about. They also did one about racism, in the sense of like, at least in one thing I saw, in the sake of representative take, like there were all these like heroes on these cards, and KO's friend Dendi never saw a kappa on any card, because Dendi is a kappa, a little turtle with like water in their head, or water on their head, or that's what they grew up into, because kappas are like demons from like Japanese like mythology and stuff. But like in KO, it's like well, I mean that's a stereotype, that's a harmful stereotype in their world. They're like, it's like we're not all evil. Like of course there's like gonna be, it's like there's evil things to everyone, and they're like, well, it doesn't matter. It's like because the representation doesn't matter because they're villains and no one's gonna want to buy kappas. And so like the whole point of the show was like they try to go in and like make a kappa card because like they're banned from making kappa cards of heroes or just people in general. And so they go in and try to break it, and then like the dude there is like, no, we are not going to sell kappas because they're villains and no one will buy them. And then they're just like, all right, let's make a deal. It's like you like make just a limited amount of these cards, or you like make these cards for this set amount of time, and we'll see if people buy it. And he's like, all right, sure. They're not gonna buy it though. And then the minute they allow kappa cards to get made, they sell like hotcakes. And then they're like, see, it's like people do want kappas as heroes and they want kappa cards. It's like to be like, see, we do want representation. But then like, you know, because it's a corporation, the only thing they think of is like, wait, I can get more money for like giving people the rep they deserve. All right, I'll do it. Like, you know, a very not the best way, but it's like a thing of where they're like, we'll take it. It's like because then they're getting representation and stuff like that. Which, is it a shitty way to get representation for people to be like, we can get money off this? But like, at least those people are like actually doing it. Whereas like, I'm like trying to like actually, and like sort of the thing is like they're trying to show like, oh, we're gonna do it. Versus other people who will vehemently push it down so that other people are happy, but they're like forgetting about the other huge untapped market of minorities, which I think is fucking stupid, because I've never understood why it's like you're pleasing such a small amount of people in a sense of like, because here's the thing, you're either gonna get the people who it's not catering to, you're either gonna get one, oh wow, that's cool, I know people like that they'll probably like this representation. Two, I don't care. There's probably gonna just be people that are like, I don't care. I'm not. It's like it's another character. Dope. That's pretty dope. If I like their character because I like their character, dope. And then you're gonna get the bigots who are gonna be like, you're ruining the sanctity of this, yada yada yada. I.e., making characters like a different gender or different sexuality or what are the other things, race or whatever, when in reality, while it may not matter to some people, it matters a lot to others. Like She-Ra, the original She-Ra was very basic. It was just a bunch of white people, and Katra like and stuff, and it was all just very like, oh, these are just, oh shit, hello? It's like, oh, this is just all the male gaze the entire time. Whereas, like, you know, you get the new one, and you have all these people of different shapes and sizes. You have, like women being being masculine, women being, and men being effeminate, and all that stuff, like, very unabashedly, and, like, queer representation as well, like, on so many fronts. And whereas, like, someone just be like, it's like, oh, they ruined it. It's like, who is this for? And it's like, yeah, it's for the people who don't get to see themselves all the time. Which was one of the problems I had with someone I went to college with. Because he was always like, well, the theater demographic isn't going to go see this. It's like, awesome, it's not for them. It's like, but that's the majority of people who go to the movie theaters. It's like, yeah, but did you think maybe they're trying to get other people to watch movies? Like, because that's the whole point of bringing representation to the table, is the reason, like, they'll have a whole other audience they can tap into. And, oh, hey, we get to choose so many colors.
Time for a nice relaxing.
Greetings, traveler. New mission to
That right there is
Oh, shit.
a beaut, man. My runners ain't the prettiest gal to dance,
But it's
she'll
always
put out
like,
the second you ask her, and
they're
be sure to hit
they're
the
trying to
first
bring
know
more
whoever
people
wants catch
to
a
watch
ride
things,
with the scooter
because
man.
they know that some people know they've been pandering for too long, and some people try to stop it, like Disney and, oh, I can do that, like Disney and Cartoon Network. They've definitely tried to suppress it. Cartoon Network definitely, we know Cartoon Network tried to suppress it, because Rebecca Sugar was always like, yeah, I was trying to get all this queer stuff on Steven Universe, and it was like almost impossible because they just wouldn't let me do it. You know, all that fun stuff. And, you know, you just look at it and you're like, and like the thing is, I think like Rebecca Sugar, whether she meant it or not, there was like a lot of things of like, they're just rocks. They're not girls, they're rocks. So it's not technically gay because they're rocks. They're not anything. But in reality, it's like, you know, they identify like femininely, like, or it's like, you know, they use she, her pronouns or whatever, like both of them do, and both very, or like, and they're like feminine in some ways. Like, you know, in a sense that it's like, yeah, this is queer, this is for me, and whether, and like, again, I don't know if Rebecca Sugar like did that as like a thing to be like, oh, I want to get my representation in, so I'm just gonna lie about it, like, well, lie to the company.
The people that inhabit this salted dust ball
And like
are
then
as
there's like,
ignorant
but
as
then there's like, you know,
peanuts
some
and
companies that
galaxies.
can't do
When I
that,
attach
like
scientific inquiry to something
an
like
Owl
the vault,
House. In
I'm
Owl
greeted
House,
with silly
they
nursery
make
rhymes
some of the
and
characters like
lapdog
very
soliloquy about a
unabashedly
man
queer.
who knew a man who
Like they
knew
don't
a
even try to
man.
hide it.
They drift off
And
into a stupor where I half
like
imagine
I
they're
wouldn't,
drunk or
I
brain
don't know if I've
damaged
heard, I
and
don't
are
know if I
unaware
heard
of
about
my
it, but I
continued
don't
presence.
doubt
If I believed
that
in hell, I would contemplate how it compared
Dana
to
Terrace did
Pandora.
not have to
Ironically,
fight
such a belief would align me
to
with these Neanderthals.
get that representation on there, especially for main characters, because it's always for main characters. It's always because like you can tell Disney or Cartoon Network, hey, can we have this gay couple, but like in the background? They'll probably be like, oh yeah, we're gonna get the diversity credit we deserve, you know, because they're like, oh, obviously that's diversity because we have a mom and a dad, we have like a mom and a mom, or a dad and a dad, like holding hands in the background of this movie, or like, oh, they have like, they're holding hands, they have a baby carriage, but it's like, in reality, it's like, it's not really anything. It's like, and it's like why stuff like, it's why like stuff in movies like what was that one that I love? Onward?
A119.
Or like,
I sat
oh,
in
we
the
have gay
shower in
rep, but
tears
it's just
for
like
just
a
under an
woman
hour.
being like,
This is interesting,
I have a
considering we haven't had
girlfriend.
water for days.
And
I
that's it.
equate my
And she
ever-decreasing
shows up for
sanity
one or
with
two
that of the
scenes, and that's
population
about
of
it.
my dig site.
It's
With
not
the
like
investigation of the
Tom
symbols and
Holland's
glowing
character or
patterns.
Chris Pratt's character, the brothers. It's not like one of them is like, I'm gay or anything like that, you know? Like, there's ways you can do it. Yeah, like, and they do that, like, try to put a gay kiss in Gravity Falls, and they get it shut down. And, like, the thing is, then later, and it all depends on, with stuff like that, like, is that a big, was it, like, main characters or not? Because in Star vs. the Forces of Evil, there's a kiss shared between two people who looked like men. So, like, and they're like, it's like, oh yeah, those are two men kissing. But, like, they were just random people in an audience during a love song. It wasn't like they took, like, Star and made her kiss one of her, other, like, female friends or anything like that. They're just like, oh, look, we have representation or whatever. Which is why Owl House is so different, because Owl House is like, these two characters are very obviously queer. They are here. And it's weird how, like, unashamed it is. In the sense of, like, I mean, I love it. I fucking love it. But, like, full on blushing, asking to prom, all that stuff. And, like, it's just so unashamed, and it's astounding. And then there's, like, other things where, like, Disney will be like, oh, things like, now, like, High School Musical, the musical, the series, there are there's two gay guys in it. They end up dating. But I don't think they kissed on the show for the longest time. Whereas before that, they had the straight couples kissing, like, all the time. I think they barely even showed hand holding. And it's like it's just like a thing of like, oh, like, they have representation, but is it really representation? Like, they're just trying to be like, well, they're dating, and it's like, okay. And I don't know. It's just whack. And then I think it's like one of the only couples on the show where they're like, oh, he's hanging out with other boys on vacation or whatever like that. Whereas, like, I don't know if anyone else in the show ever dealt with that, in the sense of, like, two people are dating and, like, one of them is like, oh, I think my, like, we just was like, oh, I think I'm being cheated on or whatever. Because, like, at that point, it's normally just been like, oh, we're fighting and we break up. Or, oh, yeah, we used to date, but we're broken up now. Stuff like that. It's whatever. But, I don't know. Just annoys me a bit. What are these stars? Transitions. Oh my god, congratulations. There's transition points on this. They're
This man,
transitioning.
Sledge, has something we need. You are going to get it from
Did I get rid of the wrong shield?
him.
No, it's very
Sledge
fast
is
to
a bad
recharge.
man who
Okay.
has done terrible things to the
It says
people
very
of
fast
Firestone.
regen.
Do what
But
you
yeah.
must.
But also on the Owl House, they also have a non-binary character. And I was questioning if they were non-binary, mainly just because, like, they kept saying they, but I wasn't sure if they meant it and, like, they were talking about a group or whatever. But no. I mean, they have just a straight-up non-binary character. And, like, Steven Universe had some too, but, like, they had to, like, go for it. But also at the same time, it's, like, crystal gems, and you don't know, like, some of the gems are non-binary in the sense of, like, but those are, like, way later gems. And then there's, but, like, in Owl House, there's, like, a character that just uses they them pronouns, And I remember the whole time I'm like, okay, are they trying? Because I didn't expect them to also have that. Like, here's the thing. I was like, okay, they gave them like a queer couple, a front-face queer couple, but to then also add a non-binary character who was in a relationship with another main character astounded me. And it's why I fucking love Owl House. One, it fulfills my thing of magic and fantasy. Two, it's just queer. Like, that's the thing. It's like when you make magic stuff like this, like a magical world like this, or like stuff like Gravity Falls should have been so much more queer than it wasn't. Or whatever, however I should say that, because like it, like honestly, I don't know, like Mabel definitely seems like a bisexual queen to me or whatever, and that like there's a lot of fanins of like you know, like Dipper being trans mask, and it's like where it's like and like, you know, I think that's great. I could see it definitely, and it's like one of those things where it's like whether you want it to or not. And like then there's like people like Mark Hamill, who has said in interviews like about Luke Skywalker, like if you want Luke Skywalker to be gay, then he's gay. Like just saying like I'm not gonna make that choice, but you can make the choice. And like it's one of those things where it's like I feel like Alex Hirsch would probably say the same thing, at least in my head, because Alex Hirsch seems like definitely the type of person who's like, I want people to feel comfortable. I would love to include people and stuff, because like I don't know, Alex Hirsch has this like, we do stand Mark Hamill, love Mark Hamill. But like at the there should be racks over here. There they are. At the same time, it's just like one of those things where we may not get it, but like other members of the community will also like agree. Oh yeah, I like the idea that this character is this identity and all that stuff. Like I remember like some of the things. It's like when I was stupider, even though I was queer, I was like, not everything has to be gay. It's like you don't have to ship these people, and it's like whatever. And I think it was just more because I was trying to enjoy the show that some of us were all watching. That I just got annoyed because everyone was constantly talking and I was trying to pay attention. I don't know. Which again is weird for me because I am extremely queer. I think it's more like me shutting everything down, but it's also like a thing where you look at it and you're like, no, it makes sense. I see why they were saying that or whatever, yada yada yada. It was just, I don't know. It doesn't excuse it, but I was a bit of I was a dick when I was little. I still sort of am. All depends on who you ask. But I like to think I'm a better person now. Like I just don't know, if someone's like they're dating, I'm just like cool, they're dating. Or like I'll be like, I don't see that, but I get it, you know, stuff like that, because it's like, yeah, it's like it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know, but it's also like one of those things like where if someone is canonically established as like queer, they're queer. I don't think there's anything else to it. But like if someone's like, but if it's like someone's like straight and but like they don't ever like, you know, attribute anything else, it's like maybe. It's like, I don't know. And it's also why like TV is such like a hard thing to find representation in, because you have companies trying to keep everything away to make the cis straight white people happy. And not really think about anyone else, like, and like I don't know why. And like here's the other thing: there's a show called like Amphibia. I have no idea if it's queer or not, but it definitely feels queer. I don't know if there's been any gay thing in it at all, but like I watched that show and I'm just like, this is gay media. Nothing gay has happened, but it's gay media. But like also Disney tried to fuck with Amphibia too. And it's just one of those things where it's like, what are we doing? I don't know. But it's why I like other things. Like, it's why I like D&D and like D&D podcasts, because like, in podcasts, whether they're straight or not, they will like to my knowledge, like in one D&D podcast I listened to, NADPod, to my knowledge, the person that was playing like this very lovely this gay character, to my knowledge, he might be straight. He could be bi, but like I know he's married to a woman, and I know this. But like in D&D, he's like, oh, my paladin, he's gay. Like he's gay. He likes guys. That's who he is. And like, you know, I don't even know if his character likes girls at all. I definitely know he likes guys though, because like he tried to date like one of his friends, and also, well, he did date one of his friends, but also like someone like that he ran into, also he like fancied as well. Granted, he was also dating his boyfriend at the time in the game, so it was a bad move. But also in the game, he was like pretending to be like a teenager or whatever, so it's like, oh, I'm confused. It's like, but I mean, he recognized he was wrong in cheating on his boyfriend though. I mean, obviously, which good on him. But like, very queer. And then I think, and then there's, Emily Axford's character. Emily Axford's characters are always unabashedly queer. Every single time. There's no way any of them are straight, and that's just a fact. Like, I mean, it's canon that, Fizz is queer. I mean, everyone, and like, and in NADPod, in Unsleeping City, Sophia, Bicicleta definitely has like a thing for like a statue woman who came to life. It's not just, she didn't just see a statue and was like, oh, it was a living statue, in the sense of like, it's legitimately a statue, but like also because they're part of the magical world, she's also a real living being. It's a weird thing. Unsleeping City is amazing. And then there's I mean, I can't say anything necessarily for what's that one called? I can't necessarily say anything for Crown of Candy, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if any of her characters weren't. I don't know. There hasn't been any other games that they've played yet, so she can't necessarily be queer. And then in the new NADPod series, I don't know. I haven't been caught up on it, but I wouldn't be surprised. But like, I know at least in like Fantasy High, because I've been rewatching it, just none of them like state their things anything, but like Fizz's, Fig does, but Fig has never strayed away from like anyone, never been like, oh, I only like this one type of person and stuff like that or whatever. Like, you know, it's like, oh, I only like this one gender or whatever, yada yada yada. And she, or like, and then Kristen Appleby's realizes she's queer. Riz the Ball Gutgak, asexual, love and asexual king, there's some things that like Add-on might be asexual too. I'm not entirely sure because like Add-on doesn't like partake in anything like that, but also Add-on might just not want to, or maybe like in the sense of the woman portraying Add-on, because like Fantasy High is about adults playing high schoolers because they're from dropout.com, which is a subsidiary of College Humor and stuff like that. And like they're all adults playing teenagers, so like maybe it's like a choice of where she's like, I don't know if I want to engage in that or whatever. It's like even though it's just like all this false sort of thing, I don't know, which I get, but like who knows? Maybe it's like Add-on's just not interested in anyone though, or maybe just she is asexual, or maybe she's sapiosexual. Who knows? We won't, and that's okay because we aren't given that. But like, can we fanon like putting Add-on with people or Add-on being asexual? Absolutely, because I mean, there's no reason
Patricia Tanis,
we
Doll
can't.
Scientific Advisor, Day 1 on planet Pandora. I have been assigned to this sector by my superiors to find evidence of abandoned alien technology, similar to that found by our competitor, the Atlas Company, in the ruins on Prometheus.
But also, like,
technology that many believe made them
and
the
then there's people
superpower they
like,
are now. This kind of find seems astronomically
where is that?
improbable on a rock like this.
It was all the
But my
way over there,
benefactors
now I gotta go
believe in
all
it
the way
enough to
back.
waste my considerable talent.
Because it wouldn't just
I've
tell
only
me
been
where
here
it was.
for 3 hours, and I already believe this planet will be the death of me. Scientists do not chase myths and legends.
God, I can't think of words right now. But then there's people like Gorgug. Gorgug honestly seems pretty straight, but also like that one friend that will like do queer things, but not in a queer way. You know? Where he's like I remember like he kissed one of the NPCs in the game like to get him over like this guy he liked. And well, I guess I just broke the system. But oh, it's upstairs, isn't it? But it's also like one of those things where it's like he probably did that because it's like he's also not ashamed of his masculinity. Like he's not ashamed of his femininity or masculinity. Like he's comfortable in his masculinity to know like I can kiss my friend and it's more of a thing to like help him than anything or whatever. Or Gorka could be gay. Who knows? It's all up to whatever we want to think. And by gay I mean queer. Because he does have a girlfriend. And then a lot of people ship Fabian and Riz together. It's like, which I could definitely see. And like that's the thing, it's like, I mean, Riz came up with like a fake partner at some point. Didn't state a gender, so like queer, definitely. And like we know that Riz is asexual. Look, it's a rack hive. You have to fight one of those later. But not this one.
The only emotion I felt was that of joy. I felt joy because his chair was always more comfortable than mine. I took his chair, and then I noticed the emissive glow on the rocks at the dig site.
But just, I don't know, there's just other shows and whatever that just give differing representation and better representation. And the thing is, like, D&D gets a lot of gateway for that, because, I mean, the whole point of D&D is, like, you can do anything. You can be whoever you want, you can do whatever you want, you can, well, in the sense of, like, you know, your character's personality and whatnot. That's why I love it. And on Sleeping Study, I have no idea. Cugrash, definitely queer. And it's like, then it's like, you know, you think about like the actual people, like, are they themselves queer? And again, it's one of those things like, who knows? Maybe. I mean, oh my, I thought I'd be fine. But that bruiser just destroyed my fucking, I think we're done here. That bruiser, I thought I could kill him. Run him over, dead. But like, Emily Axford and Brian Murphy, they're married, but like, they both seem very bisexual. Don't know if they are, but they seem like they could be. Lou Wilson, I have no idea. I think Lou might be straight, but like definitely an ally. Allie Beardsley is non-binary, a non-binary lesbian, I think. So like, you know, that's safe for us. I don't know about Shoyben Thompson. I really don't. And Zach Oyama, I don't know either. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I say Lou seems straight, but I don't even know. Who knows, honestly. But also, I think almost anyone that plays D&D the way they play D&D, I just wouldn't assume. I just can't assume that they're straight. Like they have that possibility forever of being queer because like the way they play is just different. But then again, it's like it's very different playing a queer person, you know, than being a queer person or whatever. Regardless, they're all amazing people. Versus like other people I've watched, or versus other people I played with, where I played with people, and I'd be like,
die right away and beg
if
me
this
to put her out
like
of her
there's no
misery
way this
as
person
she
could
choked
ever
on
play a
various
queer
fluids
character
and bile.
or anything like that, you know.
I hesitated
like
because she was the last one alive that wasn't me.
it's very like
As she was choking
weird.
and coughing and dying,
I don't know. I
tried
played with a
to
lot of people where
enjoy
if I
the
played with them, I'd be like,
I imagined to be
I
a
feel like this
conversation,
person
as I knew it was the last I would have
would
for a
hate
while.
crime me
I finally got
generally
around to
anywhere else. I don't know.
but I could continue my research. I could
Thank
tell
you,
that she
motorcycle.
regretted the decision.
The
Skags have been waiting for this meal for
I
a
don't know.
while. They will not go hungry tonight.
I just play with people I know that like there's some people where I look at them and I'm like, would this person hate crime me in a normal sense or no? And then there's other people that I'd be like, oh, I know they would. I know this person would purposely. I'm getting so many freaking quests where I look at people and I'm like, this person would definitely misgender me on purpose just to like quote unquote trigger me or something. You know? You ever meet those people? I definitely have. And I don't like them. But I don't have to see them anymore. But they always have this like this energy of like, I'm better than you. But you look at them and you're like, there's no way you're better than me though. Like probably better than me in some ways, but like not better than me overall. I don't know. I played like a couple of things with D&D with this one dude who is most definitely an incel. There's no way he wasn't. Who was also a major creep, because he stalked one of my friends at some point, to try and go on a date with her. I don't think he bothered her, like, later, but still, he was very, like, ugh, not a good person. And just when he played D&D with us, he yelled at me one time. Like, the last time we had him over, he yelled at me. It was, like, 4 in the morning, and he yelled at me. Because he didn't like something I did. Even though, later I found out that entire night, he had lied to me about a lot of the stuff he did. Like, he polymorphed one of our players into a scorpion because his argue was they were like level 7 and a scorpion has a CR rating of 7, therefore he could turn this person's character into a scorpion with polymorph, which arguably no, because that's not how CR works. I know that now because a CR for a character is very different, because like level 7 does not mean CR7, because the CR is allegedly based off of you know, group fights, not a singular person. So the CR of like a level 7 person would more likely be like CR4 or CR5, you know, because they're a bit tougher or something like that. Or maybe even like CR3, because one, like, a group of 4 versus one person would probably like bonk its ass out. Anyway. Hold on. To continue talking about whatever I was talking about, he did that. But also, when he was rolling damage for the scorpion attacks, he said that they did 150 damage. Years later, I checked this, because I'll say again, it was 4 a.m. 4 a.m. We were all so fucking tired. And I look at the max damage a scorpion could do, like, if it landed all 3 of its attacks, was nowhere near 150. So he straight up lied, just because and I think he took advantage of me being a new DM, me being tired, and me, like, not having everything and stuff like that. And so then, when I used, and, like, I remember my friends later, they told me themselves, like, okay, he shouldn't have yelled at you like that, but you could have definitely made this fight a bit more fair or whatever. They also said you could have killed us. But, like, the thing is, at D&D, your character dying is always a casualty. Like, looking back on it, it's like, well, that's a thing. That could happen. But I understood they wanted to keep these people alive, yada, yada, yada. But, like, it's also, like, one of those things where it's like, as a DM, you're allowed to kill people. Granted, as a DM, I always ask, what are your thoughts on death? Like, if my players don't want to die, I'm going to try and figure out a way for them to survive, unless, like, there's no narrative reason why they wouldn't die. In a sense, you know? I'm all about trying to make sure, like, you know, my players are happy, and then I'm also happy as, like, a DM. But there are those times where, I don't know. But there's, like, it's like, that was pretty powerful. And it's like, the problem was, again, I was a beginner DM, and we had like a few, like, a lot of sessions by that point or something, like 10 or something, maybe a bit more. But, like, even at that point, I still didn't know how to, you know, properly, build encounters, because I truly didn't know how to make things easier or not. You know? I was pressing caps lock. Well, good for you. Listen, D&D is fun. You should play D&D. But, like, just, I don't know. I didn't know, like, I had just been starting out, and I believe he took advantage of that. He also completely lied to me in a sense. I was like, hey, they need a healer. We would greatly appreciate, like, the team having a healer. And he's like, oh, awesome, because I did want to play a bard. And I was like, oh, awesome. I was like, okay, he's going to play a bard. And then he comes in, and all he does is do damaging things, and, like, no buffing, no helping, really. And, like, I'm like, okay. And then he yelled at one of my friends who was playing a cleric, but they came to me first and said, hey, I want to play cleric, but I'm not going to be, like, a healing cleric. I'm probably going to take, like, one healing spell or something, but I'm not going to be a healing cleric. I am going to be a damaging cleric. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And, like, I told everyone else, I'm going to inform everyone else of this decision. I did. And, like, so, like, you know, I told everyone else, like, hey, this person's going to be a cleric, but they told me specifically they're using this cleric class like for fighting, not healing. Keep that in mind when making your characters. And they're like all okay. This person joined in like way later, but also at the same time it's one of those things where it's like I feel like I would have brought it up to him, or like if no one had like talked about it yet, there's probably like it's like a cleric, then there's probably a reason why they don't have healing spells. But like when he got angry at me for using a 9th level spell, which again probably was a bit over the top, but like hey, again, beginning. He screamed at me for using a 9th level spell. Not for anything else, not for almost killing everyone, but because I used a 9th level spell on a party of level 7s, which there were like 6 of them, and one of them was a totem barbarian. So I don't know. So like that totem barbarian was pretty fine in general. You know, just as long as he stays up, in theory, everyone can survive. And for you, Ash, since you don't know anything, a totem barbarian is one of the most broken barbarian subclasses because they can create a totem of like the animal they wish to like inherit their like barbarian spirit from. And there's one in there called the bear totem, which makes you resistant, which means you take half damage from every source except psychic damage. So literally, it is a subclass that essentially just takes the barbarian's rage and just makes you basically impervious to death. At least that's how I see it as a DM, and I hate it so much. I hate that subclass so much. As a DM. And so I was like just trying to figure out, I just need to keep throwing bigger and stronger enemies at these people because obviously they're just going to focus the barbarian because the barbarian's going to run up to them every time. I need to make them stronger for that. But like there's a flaw in that, you know, because then what if the barbarian's over near there? What if they use a charm spell? What if they do this? What if they do this? What if they do this? There's a lot of factors that I didn't think about. But like at that point necessarily didn't matter in a sense. It still wasn't good, but it technically didn't matter. And I don't know. Just I completely forgot where I was going with the story. Oh yeah. But this dumbass prick that he yelled at me, yelled at the cleric for not healing. And then just okay, that was weird. It wasn't letting me shoot my gun. Oh, my mouse is just lagging again. Okay. But he just yelled at us and then left and really had the audacity later the next week to be like, so we playing this weekend? Like, if we are playing this weekend, you just yelled at me. You're not coming to any games anymore. Like, we didn't tell him that because, like, and the only reason I didn't tell him that is because, my friend had a class with him, and they were very, like, they had a lot of anxiety and stuff, and, like, a lot of, like, problems and whatever, and they're like, please don't kick him out. I don't want to deal with him talking smack about you in class. I won't be able to handle that. It'll, like, and I'm like, I'm thinking about my friend's mental health, so I'm like, okay, we're just gonna have to make a completely separate group chat or, like, talk about when we're gonna play without him, like, you know, around ever. Where'd my sniper go? Which is what we ended up doing. Like, I'd go around, I'd like DM people, be like, hey, can you play tonight? Stuff like that. Because we sure as hell weren't letting him come back. And we didn't. But every week without fail, he'd ask, are we going to play this week? And we'd either say no, or we just wouldn't respond. And he'd never take the hint. He'd never take the hint because he's so far up his own ass that he couldn't realize what he did wrong. Oops. Equipped the wrong shield. And so, like, you know, eventually, like, you know, school year ends. He's not talking to us. We block him. It was just, oh god, he was so terrible. Just had the audacity to yell at us. It was so fucking rude that he would do anything like that and just think it was okay. But I mean, what can you do with cis straight white men? Am I right? So we just, you know, we never talked to him again. We'd see him around campus and we'd all be like, ew. Because we hated him. He also sometimes came up on, like, Tinder for me. And listen, I don't like him. And I definitely don't think he's attractive. But the way he had his Tinder profile set up was also not good. Because, like, he, like, you know, most people on Tinder, they'll, like, you know, take, like, they'll take pictures on Snapchat with, like, you know, little filters and stuff, and like some of them are common or whatever, and you're like, and whether you like them or not, they're common, and you know people do them and that people like them. Like the dog filter that was around for like a really long time. I haven't seen it recently, so I think everyone just sort of like got over that sort of fad. But like, but he had a picture of him with a filter of like electricity eyes. So like he had this electricity like coming out of his eyes, like he was like Storm or somebody, and it just looked so dorky. Like, it's like, okay, I don't know if anyone, like, you can do what you want, but like I don't know if anyone's gonna like swipe on you with stuff like that. There's probably gonna be some people, like there's always some people, but like, I don't know, cause like there's like, cause like he had some like nice photos on there in the sense of like normal photos. Cause again, I do not think this person was attractive, but I think also the ugliness of his personality could have done that, but also himself. He like, you know, he just had like pictures of his like own face on there, and he had pictures of him at like cons, which is like a really good thing, because you're like, hey, look at what I like. It's like, I like going to cons. It's like, oh wow, that's cool. It's like you're showing your interest and stuff like that. Like, all for it, because like, hell, I'd go to cons if I could. And I know like a lot of people like post stuff from like cons or like doing cosplay, because, you know, you're gonna find people like that, because like if you like cons, you're gonna probably more likely find people that also like cons. But he had that, and then he also had pictures of him wearing sunglasses inside. He also had that as like his Facebook profile picture. Like, I don't know, like, I get wearing sunglasses, but you could have at least walked outside to take the picture, because then it would look like it would make more sense. But instead he sat inside and took a picture inside his house wearing sunglasses, and it just looks a bit like it's douchey. It's a douchey thing. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, you're wearing sunglasses inside. Okay. 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 It's one of those things, you know? Oh, there's, you know? And I definitely don't think wearing sunglasses inside is cool or anything. The only sunglasses inside that I ever think should be worn are like the ones that aren't necessarily made to block out the sun. I.e., like, you know, those cool small little ones that like I've seen a lot of people with, like the ones that are like flames and they're like a light color or whatever, or like sort of like the John Lennon glasses but like smaller and like with like a colored tint but like nothing too heavy, because like those don't really, because I've had glasses like those, some of them don't really do anything, and like those fashion wise look nice, but like sunglasses inside is like those are meant to stop you, like the bright sunlight from hitting your eyes. You're inside, you're safe. You're safe from the sun. But I mean, you know, again, you can do what you want, but it's not an attractive look. Cause I'm fine with wearing whatever, but I know he was trying to get something off of there. I bet if I read his description, if I ever ran into him again, it would probably be something very, I'm better than you, or whatever, or it'd either be I'm better than you, self-deprecating, or pure cringe. And I know this. I don't actually, but I like to say that I know this. Because that's the type of person he was. I've seen some like terribly self-deprecating stuff on dating apps, and like it hurts me to see it, just because I'm like, I know like a lot of people are very self-deprecating to themselves. I mean, I know I am. But it's also like that thing of like, to just put in your bio, I know I'm ugly and unattractive. It's like, honey, who hurt you? Like, who told you you were ugly and unattractive? Because most of the people that I see it on, like, I'm looking at these people like, oh, this person looks kind of cute. And then I see that, and I'm like, well, if you're going to talk about yourself like that, then yeah, you're unattractive, but not for the way that you think you are. Because, like, it's a thing, like, you could be open about your depression, dysmorphia, dysphoria, all that stuff. I understand being open about that, because I'm pretty open about my own stuff. But, like, it's also a thing of, like, also, if you're wondering what I'm doing, the one person watching, lovely little Ash, I'm looking for the sniper rifle sight, and I always forget where it is here. Because I'm pretty sure it's in a bullshit area that doesn't make any sense. But I will find it. Oh, wait, there it is. See? I always forget. But I don't know. Like, I know a lot of times it's like, I'll hate the way I look. But it's more of like, mine is more of dysphoria than anything. I was like, I'll just be like, dysphoria is making me, like, feel crap about myself today. I never say I'm ugly. There's times I do say I'm ugly, but those are very rare instances, because I think I'm hot. As I should. But, like, I never try to say stuff like, oh, I'm ugly, I'm whatever, because I feel like overall, I mean, it's harmful to yourself, which is why I try to stop doing it, but I understand that some people can't not do it, or that they're doing it because it's what they legitimately think, and I know, like, that's not anything you can necessarily stop sometimes, which sucks, because not the best way to think, but it's also a hard thing to not think sometimes. Oh, a scoozy. What a nice thing to say after that. I don't know. Okay. Boop. I don't know. I've also just had like a lot of problems with people themselves being like, oh yeah, I'm ugly over time, like forever and ever towards me. And I don't know if it's me just being annoyed or like not understanding them entirely or something else, but like just sometimes when it's been like, when I've had partners and they're like, oh no, I'm ugly, and then you're like, I don't think you're ugly, I think you're beautiful. They're like, no, I'm ugly. It's a thing of like take the compliment or whatever. I don't know, which I know is a hard thing to do as I can't take compliments sometimes. Mine is more of like just telling someone to shut up or whatever because I don't know how to handle it. But also like at the same time it's like recognizing like it's weird when someone else says it. But that's also deeper trauma that I have to deal with. There we go. Haha. I was like, how am I going to get that one person kill? But, you know, people are difficult. People are different. Not everyone is going to react the same way. And not everyone's going to accept your compliments. And you have to learn that, even if they are whatever. Accepting compliments in the sense of, like, you're dating someone or you're interested in someone, and you tell them, like, you know, they're amazing, or they're pretty, or they're hot, they're handsome, all those stuff, and they don't, like, you know, they don't take the compliment, or they don't believe you. And a lot of that is rooted in, like, other stuff, like, I know I have those, haha. Who wants to go into trauma tonight? With the one person sitting in here, who wants to go into trauma? But
You just walked into the wrong.
you walked into the wrong bit. Oh, that wasn't even my grenade. I don't know. I mean, I was called gross for like 8 years of my life. And whether it's true or not, it does damage. Especially when it's by someone that you're supposed to trust and whatever. Because then you think, because then you're like, because then, you know, you start believing I am gross, but you like internalize it in some way. Whereas like, well, if this person said that to me, then everyone else is probably gonna say it to me, and all that stuff. Can I, hold on. Haha. But, I mean, everyone's different and whatnot, but when you're fragile, you're fragile. And everyone has, well, I'd say almost everyone has some sort of fragility about themselves that, they may or may not know of or be ready for or whatever. And I mean, I don't think people should be, you know, I don't think people should have to deal with that and whatever, but it happens to us, and then we have to live with it. I'd rather not live with it, but I don't necessarily have a choice. Well, I do have a choice, I guess. Way to combat it, but like it's generally gonna be there. And you don't know if you're ever gonna do that.
Shoot them all!
You shoot them all.
What are you?
I think I'm gonna die here. Hell yeah, there I go. Bam!
Kill him now!
Okay. Why are you so tough? Or is my pistol just weak? Is my pistol just weak? No, no. This is one of the other bad things about the old Borderlands, is that just when you go down, you can't move around anymore. Or you can't move around. Because in the beginning, you couldn't. Which is what sucked. Because in other versions, in the secondary versions, you can run around and just frickin' do whatever you feel like. But in the other games, in the later versions of the game, when you get knocked down, you can walk around. But in the first version, you're sort of hacked. And that you have to just sit on the ground and wait for someone to come into view if you want to get up. Which is very rude. And it shouldn't happen, but it did. Okay, boop. Thank you. Thank you, Claptrap.
Hey there, stranger. All right, let's go.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So with these little claptraps, you get increased
And open!
capacity, and there's inventory capacity, but also they're like, hey, here's some free stuff, like okay, well, how about this? I got a backpack upgrade. So how about you eat my pickle?
Oh, come on, let's get down. Come on, everybody. Check me out. I'm dancing. I'm dancing.
A revolver. Ah! Love my revolvers. Okay.
Check me out.
Scared the shit out of me. I know it has to do with this room. Oh. Whoa, someone really just decided to set off the bomb. I honestly don't know what's going on right now. Getting lucky, I guess.
You like that?
Woo! I am alive. What am I wearing? Oh, I put on... Oh, that's why. I was wondering why I was, like, exploding with fire. 'Cause I had the wrong shield on. Which I guess I should be grateful for, but... I don't know. Okay. We're almost to the boss. And we're not level 14 like we should be. But also, it's very hard to do that in this game when literally you've done every single mission and it hasn't bumped you up yet. Okay. Hey, look, another thing.
So you want me to share, huh?
So I could do that and forego my healing. But also, does the healing really matter that much? I don't know. I played too many other Borderlands games to care about it now. There's some in which I think it does matter, and some... God damn it. I thought you were right in my crosshairs.
That hurt.
Well, that's what I get for trusting the accuracy. I'm gonna riot. Melee fight, go. Melee fight wins. Okay. Let's go. Okay. I don't know. Why can't I hit you?
Teach him a lesson!
I hate you. Oh, I did it! There we go. That's how you do it. And I'm on death's door. Thanks, revolver. This revolver is garbo. Gods, I need an actual scope on this. I honestly didn't think I was gonna be able to get up with that sniper shot. Oh. That'll be fine. Or will it? Actually. I won't go back. If I die, I'll go back. Actually, what's my inventory looking like? It's complete. Why is it completely filled? Every time. I am gonna go back. I do not care. My plan right now is to kill Sledge, and then I'm probably gonna go offline. But we will see. And by that, I mean that is my plan, and I'm probably gonna do that. But right now, I also have to see. Oh, it's just locked overall. Okay, so I can't go back until I kill Sledge. Okay. Well then, how am I still reviving? Oh, because I picked up the other shield, but I'm not that level yet. Okay. I'm dumb. But something that will unlock later. 'Cause I'm probably gonna get off and then go do whatever. I honestly thought I had work today because my sleep schedule has been insanely off. So I woke up freaked out. It was like 5 in the afternoon because I sleep terribly. Thought. Ooh. Gotta run around. This is the strategy. Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? I hate this. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. It's the most bullshit boss ever. And I hate him. I hate him. Like, if I could, you know, you can't do it because I think they block it off. But I just snipe him from across the way. But they won't let you. Oh shit. Fucking hell. Cheater. Ben, you dumb little psycho. Get him, Bloodwing, come on! Is he stuck there? How did that miss? I think I got him stuck somehow. Yay! That was so stupid. I got him stuck. I got him stuck. Sometimes you gotta cheese it to bees it.
You should be able to get into the mine now. There's nothing between you and Sledge, and we're one step closer to the vault. I believe in you.
You believe in me? Okay. Get out of here real quick. Yep, and that door's unlocked now. And there's people behind it. As there would be. No, get out of my face!
Get those some bitches! So angry.
vent, nerd. Oh, wow. Got lucky right there. Oh, no. Okay. Okay.
Going up against a better opponent, you need a better gun. In a world of no guarantees, you can always count on Marcus guns. Want to make a bigger boom? Buy a better mod. I've got all kinds.
Boop. Okay. Okay. I believe I am done for the night. Yes, all progress will be saved. Gods, I hate that fight. Okay. That's it for me. It's gonna be stuck on that image because I'm gonna end it from here. So, have a great night. I am going to go do whatever I'm gonna do. Okay. Goodbye.